At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger. You're having your coffee with Krueger right here this morning. It is today is Wednesday, September 24th. Middle of the week, it's hump day, and we got a beautiful photo here. I want to thank Brian Houston for using the free Weather NorCal app to send in this photo here of some of the fall colors that we're beginning to see in MacArthur. And I had asked you, and many of you a few days ago, if you could send in some of those beautiful fall colors if you happen to see any in your area, because we are getting that time of the year. Yeah, maybe make that weekend trip up somewhere and check out some of those beautiful fall colors like you can see here in MacArthur. So be sure to send those from the free Weather NorCal app. Let's get you into your Krueger's Quick Cast. This is just a quick look at your forecast here for today. And starting off with our weather headlines. Now, we do expect slightly cooler temperatures. You know, it got up to over 100 degrees for parts of the valley yesterday, even some of the inland areas. It's going to be a little bit cooler out there today, but mainly for the valley and the mountains north and east of the valley. It's actually still going to be rather hot for places like Trinity County and the inland areas for today, with maybe even some triple digits for some of those inland areas, but low 90s, upper 80s, low 90s for the valley today. Now, I do expect dry conditions at least through most of the weekend, and we'll talk about that here in just a bit. Significantly cooler, significantly cooler. You know, we were talking about cooler temperatures for next week. It's looking even cooler. Hold tight, folks. It's going to be nice. But with that cooler weather, we're also talking about the potential for rain, and that's also looking more promising. So really a lot to really dive into in our deeper dive forecast, but we're in the middle of our quick cast for those of you that just want a quick look at your forecast for today. Still a little warm. Places like Corning and Willows, I'd be willing to guess it's mainly probably from the winds. Probably still blowing a little bit there. But 63 right now in Redding, 35 Alturas, 44 degrees in Wairika, and you can see temperatures in the low 50s out along the coast. All right, here's out the door for this morning, getting the kids to school. Maybe you're getting off to work, or you're just going outside in general. Here's what you can expect at 8 o'clock in the morning. How about those maybe some upper 60s for the valley. Mid 50s for most of the higher elevations, although Modoc County is still cool, 46. And for the coast, some patchy fog this morning, otherwise mainly clear skies, temperatures in the mid 50s. So as we look over just to the south of San Francisco, you see that spin of low pressure. See that counterclockwise spin? That's an area of low pressure. It's got cooler air associated with it and some wet weather too. That is moving northward. That's eventually going to maybe have an impact on our weather, especially for the southern portions of, say, Glen, Butte counties, Plumas counties, which we'll get into that also a little bit later. But for now, how about sunny skies for pretty much everyone, including the coast, for today? That's going to make for a gorgeous day anywhere you go, although it's still pretty hot inland and still pretty hot for Trinity County. But you see those clouds to the south? Look at those clouds. They're coming in for Glen, Butte County, and eventually working their way northward even into Plumas County as well. More on that a little bit later. A little bit of a teaser for that deep dive forecast, right? Upper 80s, low 90s for the valley. So about a 10-degree drop from what we saw yesterday, actually. Mid to upper 80s for many of the higher elevations, but still hot for Trinity County. Mid 90s today. About 100 degrees for some of those inland areas today. And still a very pleasant day for the coast. Upper 60s, even some low 70s. Now for tonight, we're dropping down again to the low to mid 60s for the valley. Some 40s for the higher elevations, maybe a little bit cooler than that for places like Alturas, for example. There you can see about 49 degrees for Hayfork tonight, right? That's later tonight. 55 degrees for Weaverville, and looks like in the low to mid 50s for the coast. All right, so here's a look at your 7-day forecast. You're going to see some big changes here. So nice for today and tomorrow. I mean, nice compared to what we saw yesterday, but then back up to the upper 90s, about 100 degrees for Friday. And that may be the last. That may be it for the year. Fingers crossed, right? But because watch the temperatures over the weekend. 92 on Saturday, about a 10-degree drop there. By 82 on Sunday. Look at those temperatures on Monday, Tuesday. Oh, yeah. I'm loving that. And on top of that, maybe some rain. At this point, timing, intensity, that's all got to be ironed out here. I'm not going to begin to show you rainfall estimates at this point because it's just too early. And even showing just that trend, I think it just gives too much hope. All right, so there you can see for the coast, mid-60s, give or take, dry through the weekend, maybe some rain come Monday, Tuesday. Also the case inland and for Trinity County. All right, let's take a look at Siskiyou, Modoc County in the eastern mountains. Now, you'll notice on Sunday for Alturas and Susanville, for example, maybe a chance for a shower or two. But then I think everyone's got that better chance coming in for Monday and Tuesday of next week. All right, let's take a look at the fire weather forecast here, sponsored by Garmin's Tractor Service. You still need to start thinking about making sure that you've got that defensible space and keeping that dead, dry grass clear, right? And Garmin's Tractor Service can do that for you. All right, so here you go. This is the Dillon fire. This is as of yesterday evening. Still same acreage, but the containment is getting larger, up to 90% containment. The Blue Fire, same story here. As of yesterday evening, no acreage, at least no growth in the acreage, but a growth in that containment up to 82% containment. And the Log Fire, boy, oh boy, this is looking even better, right? 97% containment as of yesterday evening. We'll certainly take that. Those are really the only three fires that we're really watching here. Now, right now, here explains why we're seeing those warmer temperatures, right? For Corning and Willows, for example. You still got a bit of a breeze out there, 10, 15, 20 miles an hour, but elsewhere not that bad. And then for this evening, this afternoon, a bit of a south wind, 10 to 15, maybe close to 20 miles per hour. Now Thursday, I don't think the winds will be that much of a factor. I think they're going to be pretty calm, at least in the valley, a little breezy for some of those mountain valleys and ridge tops. But look at Friday morning. Friday morning, we're actually seeing those winds pick up. Not only for the valley from the north, but also some of those foothill locations and mountains east of the valley. That continues through midday on Friday, but then by Friday afternoon, those winds will start to die down, but still fairly breezy in some spots here. So looking at the fire weather risk for today, mainly within that moderate category, so that's good, but it's still hot and it's still dry. So we still need to be careful. The fire season is not over, folks. We've known many fires to even last and even start in October. So we've still got over a month to go before we can really start with confidence saying, all right, we're done with the fire season, but we're not there yet. Now tomorrow we're in the low to moderate range, and then Friday, this is where those winds are starting to kick in, right? See that? By midday, you're in that high category here. So, and the humidity still very low. And Friday is also the spike in the temperatures. So it'll be hot, it'll be dry, and it'll be borderline windy out there from those north winds. So let's be really careful, especially on Friday. Hey, by the way, I want to remind you, Caffeinate for a Cause is tomorrow. This is to help benefit Turtle Bay. For all of the Dutch Bros in the Reading area, Anderson, Palisadro, $1 from every drink purchase goes to Turtle Bay. But here's the other fun part. There are volunteers such as myself from Weather NorCal and a special guest tomorrow between 2 and 4 p.m. at the Dutch Bros on South Market Street. That's right across the street from the Good News Rescue Mission. I will be out there. A new Weather NorCal meteorologist, little teaser there, is going to be there as well. Now, they haven't made their way, they haven't made a presence yet. That's because we're still training. But you'll get a sneak peek of who they are if you head on over to South Market Street, Dutch Bros, between 2 and 4 p.m. Now, here's the thing. If you can't make it, you can donate early. See, there's a QR code there. Go to that and then donate as much as you'd like, and make sure you put Weather NorCal as a team you'd like to benefit from that. I'm not getting the money. It's going to Turtle Bay, but it's a fun little competition between all the different people volunteering. So you can do that. Of course, you can also go to turtlebay.org/caffeinate and make your donation there as well. And by the way, I will know if you made a donation. I will be getting a report of people who donated early. And if you do, I've got some prizes to give away for those of you that do that. I've got some Weather NorCal swag, hats, shirts, the works. And I've also got 2 free Turtle Bay Exploration Park passes if you'd like to get your hands on those as well. So go on over to that QR code, go on over to turtlebay.org/caffeinate, and you can donate early. And if you want to see me and the new meteorologist for Weather NorCal be sure to go there tomorrow between 2 and 4 p.m. and we'll have buckets. You can also put more money in there as well. All right, that is a look at that. A little promotion for Dutch Bros and for Turtle Bay. And of course, you know, I mean, just love the animals over there. Hang out with Sharon Clay every week, and we talk about different animals out there. Take a look at Lake Orville, North Forebay this morning. Looks like we've got mainly clear skies out there. Looks a little hazy, actually, but that just could be from the camera. There's Main Street Chico on Highway 32. Not a lot of traffic out there this morning. You'll also notice it seems a little darker out there this morning. And that's just because our days are getting shorter and shorter now that we have made our way into the autumnal equinox. So the days will be getting shorter and shorter. They've already been getting shorter anyways. Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. Not a lot of traffic there either. I do want to show you what it looks like right now. Not that. Here we go. This is the coast. You see way off in the distance there, it looks like some clouds, but otherwise those are clear skies that you're seeing there. It's going to be a gorgeous sunrise, I can tell you right now. We're going to be taking a look at this a little bit later in the show, and we will see what it looks like there. This is what it looks like right now in Elk Country, just north of Trinidad. And that is going to show you that we have clear skies there as well. Let me see if I can round up the camera from Sundial Bridge. Here we go. Let's get that going, get you up and running, and there you go. Yep, there it is. Got someone out there enjoying the cooler weather in the morning. A few people out there enjoying that. It's just a great time to exercise. Great time to get that walk, the jog, maybe a bike ride, whatever it is you like to do in the morning to get your heart rate up a little bit here. You can do that in these cooler mornings. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, let's take you over to the Baldwin West camera now. We're looking down at the Hoopa Valley there. Just beautiful, right? Look at that sunrise. Gotta love that. We're now looking out at Soda Ridge. This is what it looks like right now. Looking out at Mount Shasta off in the distance there. I just love these cameras. We live in such a beautiful area. I try so hard not to take that for granted. Take a look at Fort Jones right now. We're looking down there in the valley and turning out to be a beautiful shot out there this morning as well. Mainly clear skies. There may be just some patchy fog for some of you along the coast, especially around Humboldt Bay, for example. But otherwise, clear skies even for the coast. Well, let's check in with some of you this morning and see what's going on here. We've got Cynthia McIntosh. She is saying good morning today. She's saying good morning. Well, good morning to you. Jeff Johnson saying, good morning, my Mike boy. Was it hot yesterday, or at least it felt like it to me? No, it was. Definitely a hot day out there yesterday. We got up over 100 degrees for parts of the valley, including Redding. So absolutely. Curtis Brown saying he got a record out at his place just west of Red Bluff. 102 degrees yesterday. 17% humidity. That's not good. We don't want that. Looks like we have got Jackie Dixon checking in this morning from Trinidad, that is. Definitely beautiful weather on the coast yesterday. Nice to see the sun. Well, good confirmation that you did see those sunny skies out there yesterday. And you know what? You're going to get more of that here today. Like I said, maybe some patchy fog, but otherwise you've got mainly clear skies this morning and lots of sunshine as we take you through the afternoon. All right. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Thanks to Wind River for their support of Coffee with Krueger and Weather NorCal in general. All right, here's a look at that fall foliage forecast. Now, we showed you a picture earlier, and I'm going to show you it again here in just a second. But there you can see the yellows is where we have at least some change in the colors. And we have that confirmation at MacArthur. This is a courtesy of Brian Houston. Now, he sent this through the free Weather NorCal app, and look at that. I don't know exactly where that is, but what a beautiful drive down that little dirt road. You got some of the change of the colors, and there still looks to be some green in there, indicating probably even more colors coming in there as well. Now, if you start seeing changes in the colors if you live in the mountains, on the coast, anywhere, even in the valley, if you start seeing change in the leaves of your trees, let's take a look at them. Send those pictures from the free Weather NorCal app on your iPhone, on your Android, and you may see it right here on Coffee with Krueger, the morning update as well, and maybe even social media. Because this is that time of the year, right? Want to take those weekend trips out to some of those mountain areas, and we see some of those beautiful colors. So yeah, let's share those photos. Let's take a look at that. All right, so here is your deep dive forecast. As you know, I can go into a lot of detail, and I also recognize the fact that not everyone has the time or even the patience to watch a long deep dive forecast. That's why I've got Krueger's Quickcast at the very top of pretty much all of my weather updates. Just a quick look at your forecast, pretty standard, right? But then for those of you that want more detail and we start really diving deeper into that forecast, we do that for the second half of the weathercast. So let's take a look at that for your Wednesday, September 24th. Now, take a look at the temperatures out there right now. You can see we're generally in the 60s, but there are some areas, especially to the south, cornering southward, where it's a little breezy, and that's keeping those temperatures up a little bit here. But look at Alturas, 45 in Susanville, and low 50s right now for Crescent City and for Eureka. I've got my eyes on this right here. See the spin of low pressure? It's got rain just south of San Francisco and the Bay Area, and of course south of that as well. This is slowly migrating north. Really, it's more to the north and east that it's moving. So the flow around that area of low pressure, eventually as this low moves in this direction, the flow around that is going to come and impact parts of Northern California, but not everyone. And I'll show you that here in future casts here. So here we are this morning. There's the clear skies for the coast, sunny skies for everyone, all right? And that's the case here through the afternoon today. But a couple of things to take note. Number one, we may start to see a little bit of that marine layer making its way out towards Eureka, Humboldt Bay, for example, right? But still sunny skies here. But what's this? You see these clouds down to the south here? That's that area of low pressure I was talking about. Now, the positioning of where these clouds end up and where any chances for showers end up will depend on how far north that area of low pressure goes. I mean, you're talking minor shifts, folks. And that's why things can get really challenging when we're right on the edge of where that rain and even that cloud cover is. So I think we could start the morning off for the valley with some clouds, making for maybe some beautiful sunrise photos, which share those as well, not just the fall foliage, but if you have a beautiful sunrise or sunset photos, love to see those too. But here you can see maybe some showers by tomorrow morning, especially for Plumas County, but Butte County, parts of Glenn County could maybe see a shower. But notice too, I mean, again, we just have to shift this a little bit more to the north, and now we've got it in Red Bluff and Corning. We'll see. Bottom line, it's not going to be anything significant. Not enough to really cancel any outdoor plans, but should make for kind of a cooler start to the day. But then by tomorrow afternoon, you see how we could even see a few thunderstorms in Plumas County. But again, same story. A little bit more to the north. If that area of low pressure moves a little bit more to the north, we see more of it maybe around Susanville, for example. But for now, it looks like the bulk of the activity will be down to the south and east. And then that's gone. The area of low pressure just kind of scoots way off to the east over Nevada, no longer impacting our weather. And we've got some fog developing for Humboldt Bay, southward onto Highway 101. But otherwise, mainly clear skies elsewhere. There you can see in the morning hours, by the afternoon Friday, you're dry, sunny skies. Sunny skies even for the coast. For your Friday too. And Friday's that spike of the temperatures. So let's take a look at that area of low pressure I was talking about. See right here, that's the low pressure. Flow around that low, right? That's today. Let's take into tomorrow. See that area of low pressure? It's kind of scooting to the north and east. So the flow around that is bringing some of those clouds, including the valley south of that. But the thing is, especially as we saw that in the morning hours, maybe some of that shower activity, mainly south and east of the valley. Then that area of low pressure moves out. We're dry for Saturday, mostly on Sunday. And I say that because look at Sunday. We're going to take in Sunday about 5 p.m. First of all, we're seeing some clouds come in. This might be overdoing it in the cloud cover, but I would say that Modoc, Lassen, Plumas counties, and the Sierra could see some stray thunderstorms and some showers. That's on Sunday. But this right here, this is what I got my eyes on. A couple of things to take note. Number one, right here, big trough of low pressure. This is much cooler air. Significantly cooler than what we're seeing now. But there's a first punch coming in on Monday. That could bring us some rain. And you see another one right here. See that coming down the pike here. So that's just going to get caught up in the flow. And that is going to be coming in on Tuesday, giving us some more showers. Now it's going to most likely break apart by the time it moves over us, but it is going to bring us some showers, measurable rainfall, I think, for everybody. At this point, it doesn't look like it's anything all that significant, but it could bring us some rain, and there may be some lingering activity even on Wednesday. So we look at this, and this is something I haven't been showing you the last few days because it's been showing weather than normal conditions in the long range, and I just wasn't buying it just at that point. But now I'm a little bit more confident that I think we could see some wet weather here. Now we're talking about the temperatures because there is some relief in sight. This is that area of low pressure I was talking about. So you see it moves to the east, and as that area of low pressure opens up, what happens is it weakens, and that's showing signs of it getting weaker. But what we've got here is this little ridge starting to build in. That's going to be the spike in the temperatures I was talking about for Friday. We're talking about maybe 100 degrees for parts of the valley, but then that shifts to the south, and then this cooler air is what's going to be moving in. So temperatures will start to drop as the cooler air approaches over the weekend, but it's not until Monday, Tuesday that cooler air is right on top of us. Now, of course, the core of that cold air is here, but it is cooling down into Northern California. So instead of 90s and some triple digits that we've seen here this week, you ready for this? Sit down. So you'd be so shocked. All right, maybe not. Maybe you are sitting down. You probably are. 70s. 70s in the valley. I'm just going to let that soak in for a little bit. I want to let that soak in a little bit. I mean, I was looking at that. This is the first time I've seen it so far. I woke up this morning checking out the forecast models, and I about celebrated. Had a big old celebration. 70 song celebration by, who is it? Kool and the Gang. That's what I was thinking. Good times, right? All right, so then we go. I know, I'm probably more excited than I should be for this cooler air, but I'm loving it. And then you can see October 1st, it starts to kind of moderate a little bit here, maybe a little bit warmer, but as I mentioned, maybe some leftover activity. Now the thing is, we see that cooler air coming in from the west. That doesn't look like it's going to move over us just yet, but that's a long ways out. But let's just enjoy this. Yes, hot. There's Friday, that spike. Big drop. It's that roller coaster ride we talk about. This is the big time roller. This is that roller coaster ride that you've got to reach a certain height and age before you can get on that roller coaster ride, because this thing right here is going to be a nice big drop. You've got those temperatures low to mid 70s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the temperature starting to kind of uptick after that for Thursday and Friday of next week. The lake levels, again, depressing to see them now, but we are above normal where we should be for this time of the year. So that's really the bottom line here, and that's where we want to be. We look at the wave heights, and you can see they are going to be increasing as we go into the next few days. Not necessarily today, but you probably will notice that here for your Thursday. No small craft advisories for today, but there could be some patchy morning fog for today. North winds at about 5 to 10 knots. Your waves from the north at 4 feet at about 7 seconds, and from the northwest at 6 feet at about 12 seconds. All right, so here's your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. We're going to start off with Trinity County. How about we do that? And there you can see temperatures mid to upper 90s today, mid to upper 90s for the pretty much anywhere you go, right? Now, look at the temperatures. Look at this. And it's like, they just, I mean, they fall off a cliff. Mid to upper 60s by the time we go into Monday and Tuesday. And of course, the rain. Let's take you down to the south here into parts of Hayfork. We're going to take a look at your 7-day forecast for Hayfork. But otherwise, 90 degrees for Forest Glen, 91 for Ruth, and 87 degrees in Mad River. And there again is that big drop off that cliff here for Monday, Tuesday. Here is your Dignity Health North Coast neighborhood forecast. 80s, some 90s, 91 degrees for Miranda, 88 degrees for Garberville, 83 for Red Crest and Honeydew, about 82 degrees. Take you up north, 71 degrees in Ferndale, 76 in Hydesville, Rio Dell about 75. And we take you up north, 76 Blue Lake. There it is. It's still pretty hot for places like Hoopa and Willow Creek at about 100 degrees. Up north, about 99 for Orleans, 88 for Gas Key, 79 for Smith River, and it looks like Crescent City about 68. Dry through the weekend, and then Monday, Tuesday, we've got that shower activity. Taking a look at your Dignity Health, Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Still hot for the Highway 96 corridor in the mid to upper 90s. Low 90s for the most part along I-5 here. Temperatures in the 80s. And then that big drop back down to the 60s by Monday, Tuesday, and of course that wet weather Monday, Tuesday as well. Scott Valley today about 91 for Fort Jones, 89 for Callahan. We're down to 60 degrees by next Tuesday, and we take you out to Central and Eastern. Oops, got a little button happy there. Let's take you back. There we go. There's your Central Eastern Siskiyou County. Now look at Mount Shasta. You're down to 59 degrees by next Tuesday. But again, still pretty warm through the rest of the week, even into the weekend, and then that chance for that rain by the time we do get into your Monday. All right, here's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the 80s, 87 degrees for Newell as well as Alturas, 88 for Likely. Dry through Saturday. Now, I have included a chance for showers on Sunday, but I think overall the better chances for everyone will be Monday, Tuesday of next week. Here's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. For Sunday, I'm keeping it dry for Bernie, for example. So the mountains of Shasta, Tehama County, most likely dry on Sunday, but by Monday, Tuesday, everywhere is going to be looking at that chance for some rain here. So for Lassen Park and Chester and Lake Elminor, there you can see your temperatures there. 70s for the park, and then for the lake, looking at temperatures in the mid-80s, give or take. All right, let's go ahead and take you down to the south where Paradise, you'll see high of 84 degrees, 81 for Mineral, 87 for Susanville, 79 degrees for Janesville, Doyle about 86. And there you can see, of course, those temperatures also plummeting for Paradise with that rain Monday, Tuesday. Susanville, I've got a chance for showers for you on Sunday. And then, of course, Monday, Tuesday of next week. Let's take you down to the Valley neighborhood forecast sponsored by Dignity Health. Temperatures in the upper 80s for the south end of the Valley, so a big drop. About a 10-degree drop for most of us in the Valley here from what we saw yesterday. As we look at that 7-day forecast for Chico, there you can see those temperatures dropping down to about 81 Sunday, low 70s by Monday and Tuesday of next week. Oh, man, it's just, again, every time I say that, it's just joy. All right, temperatures in the low 90s for today. City of Shasta Lake, 93, 92 for Redding. 91 out in Cottonwood and Lakehead, about 91 degrees. And taking a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding. Oh, I'm not so much joy here for the next few days, not up to 100 degrees by Friday, but temperatures are dropping. I mean, it's going to be a big drop each day. I mean, we're talking an 8-degree drop from Friday to Saturday, a 10-degree drop from Saturday to Sunday, and then about another 8-degree drop from Sunday to Monday. So we're just continuing to see those temperatures drop drastically, especially by the time we go into early next week. And we got that wet weather in the forecast as well. So looking absolutely wonderful. What are you going to do with those cooler temperatures? What are you going to do in that rain? Are you going to dance in the rain? What was it? Was it Fred Astaire singing in the rain? So I mean, that's what it feels like. I mean, we're getting into the wet season. So we want to see that wet weather. We want to start filling up those lakes again. And so if we can get a good start here to the fall season, that'd be nice. We're going to see that. I am seeing another spike in the temperatures toward the end of next week, but that's still a long ways out. But that's kind of it for now. Let's take a look at a National Day, National Calendar Day. Well, all these ads coming up. There you go. And you got World Dense Breast Day. So what's that here for today? What that is they highlight World Dense Breast Day on the last Wednesday in September to raise awareness about the importance of breast screening. Oh, there it is right there. I forget to do that sometimes. Awareness about the importance of breast screening, breast density, and other screening tests women should consider after their mammogram. Well, that certainly is something that should be celebrated and should have some awareness. National Cherries Jubilee Day for today. Serving up a tasty dessert to celebrate National Cherries Jubilee Day. Smitten with a simply elegant dessert, cherry lovers celebrate this sweet holiday with delight. Well, I don't know if I've really ever done Cherries Jubilee. What exactly is it? I guess it's black cherries, candied, with the syrup and some vanilla ice cream. I guess that's what it would be. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about it. National Punctuation Day. So if people are using exclamation points in the works and using all caps in their posts on social media, maybe they're celebrating National Punctuation Day. I don't know. But let's take a look at it. It says a period, a comma, a semicolon, a question mark, and even an exclamation point are examples of some of the punctuation used in writing. They separate sentences and their elements to clarify meaning. Without them, comma, meaning would be lost or up for interpretation. Yes, I agree. There are sometimes you're like, okay, you could use a comma there or whatever. National Women's Health and Fitness Day. Well, it's kind of another Women's Day here. Promotes the largest event for women's health of all ages. Well, there you go. A few things to celebrate this year. Fun, fun, fun. Let's take a look at some of the cameras out there this morning and see what is going on this morning across the region. But first, before we do that, I got to do some kind of reset or something on the computer because we're not going to see it. There's a look at Soda Ridge this morning. We can see that just a beautiful sunrise there. Want to leave you with some more images. Until then, have yourselves a great, today's Wednesday, it's hump day. We got 2 more days or 3 more days of the work week. We'll see you tomorrow morning right here on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have a great day.